Okay, we are live and rolling here.
All right.
Hello out there. Thank you for joining us for the Print Club of Rochester's opening reception for the 89th Annual Members Exhibition. I am Bradley Butler, and I am the Executive Director and Curator at Main Street Arts. And if you are somehow tuning in and you're not sure who we are located in upstate New York and Clifton Springs. This evening, I am joined by Catherine Baca-Bolinas, who is the president of the Print Club. Catherine, would you like to introduce yourself?
Absolutely. So I'm Catherine Baca-Bolinas and the current president of the Print Club of Rochester. I took over the position when Adam Worth took off to California on us, so 2 years ago. So Print Club of Rochester has been around since 1930. So this is actually our 90th year, which is just so impressive. We have become one of the longest continually running print clubs in the country. And we were actually started at the suggestion of the Memorial Art Gallery. So we offer things like workshops, demonstrations, presentations, and different types of exhibitions. We've actually kind of increased how many exhibitions we currently do, whereas before it was just a members exhibition. Now we also do international exhibitions and other special exhibitions too. So we're a fantastic group of wonderful printmakers, just everyone in the group just loves sharing their knowledge. Now, some of us are not printmakers. Some of us are actually collectors and also just lovers of prints. So I want to thank Bradley and his staff for, during this lovely COVID time, being able to figure out a way that we can actually have the exhibition and be able to see it both virtually and in person. And this is our 89th annual members exhibition. We are featuring 21 of our members. And what's cool about the club is the fact that everyone has a different take on printmaking. There's so many methods that are out there, and we seem to just cover the full gamut of them. So it's always wonderful to see at our members show what everyone is doing, what everyone is trying, how things are progressing, and some people using older, more traditional methods, and other people using contemporary methods, and some using a combination and becoming even more mixed media. So thank you, Bradley. We really appreciate this. You are one of the premier galleries in the Finger Lakes, and so we really feel blessed and to be able to have our show there this year. Oh, one of the other things I wanted to mention is our show was done a little differently this year. In past years, what we've done is we have selected a gallery, and then our members actually just come on a specific day and bring whichever prints they would like to have in the show. This year, Brad decided that he would like to curate the show. So it's a little different take on it than what we've done in the past. Brad, could you speak to that just a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, when you had approached us about doing this members exhibition here, members exhibitions are typically not something that we do a whole lot of, but given that it was the 90th year, I was really interested in wanting to do a show with the Print Club. I thought it was a great opportunity. And but I really wanted to kind of have the show function like our normal exhibitions function. So the idea to have people submit, and everyone was going to be guaranteed, a spot in the show, because that's part of their membership, is to be in the member show. But it gave me a sense of the overall work that people had available to have in the exhibition. And it gave me some time to think about it prior to it coming here to the gallery. So people would submit, several works, and then I would choose, anywhere from one to, I think the most someone has in here is three or four, but mostly, one or two pieces from each person. And it gave me a sense of what I was going to expect, and gave me a little bit of control as far as an overall exhibition, which is something for members show is not typical to have that vision ahead of time, because normally, like Catherine said, people show up with the work and it's up, which that would have been a great show as well. But I'm really excited about the way that it came out. And I'm going to show you a few images here. We'll sneak preview for people at home. I was really excited and I guess surprised by the overall cohesive nature of the show. You know, given that there are 21 different printmakers in the show, there's a lot of different techniques being used. As Catherine said, there's, you know, more contemporary techniques being used and some traditional. That it came together to be a really cohesive, really strong show. There's a common color theme that's kind of across different work by different artists. There's line work, which is related in interesting ways. And it was, you know, really interesting for me to curate from, you know, from the submissions all the way up to the hanging of the show and the installation. And also given the fact that there is the added bonus of having basically a whole other exhibition of the presentation prints, that really made it enticing for me as well. So what you're seeing are some shots of the main floor. We've got all 21 artists who are included in the show on the main floor. And then upstairs we have the archive prints, which Catherine will talk a little bit more about in a bit here when we give you a full walkthrough of the show. But I'm just going to give you a couple installation shots of the archive presentation prints as well. So that's what you're seeing here on the second floor. So if you come to visit the gallery to see this exhibition, you'll get to see 2 floors of prints, and that should be an exciting day for anybody. So, and that brings us to some announcements here. And Catherine, I'll let you take this away.
Okay, thank you very much. Well, I am very pleased to be able to announce these winners. It's even more interesting for me because I haven't seen the work yet. And so this makes me even more anxious to get out there and view the exhibition. So I'm going to start first with a Juror's Choice Award. And the first one is by Carol Aquilano for Plant Glow. Congratulations, Carol. Our second Juror's Choice Award goes to Miles Calvert for Emerging Details. And then the big one, the Best in Show, goes to Madeline Kersaro for Meditative number 2. So congratulations, all 3 of you. It's wonderful.
And I'm just going to talk a little bit about, you know, why I chose these 3 pieces, and I'm actually going to go in reverse order. Catherine did that for suspense. So I'm going to show you images of each piece so everyone at home can see these. And again, when you come and see the show for yourself, you'll be able to see these in person. So first, we've got Madeline Kersaro, and this is Meditative 2. It's a monoprint, etching with plate tone. And the dark and moody scene depicted in her work brought me in right away. This is something that I remember from the submission images that were submitted to us online in order for me to select the work. And really, I'd say that that's common for all 3 of these pieces. There's something about each of these that really drew me in initially and stuck with me. And I was delighted when I saw the work in person. But for me, there's always something elusive and evocative about the shadows, both in art and in life. And the details in this piece that fade into darkness leave me wondering where I am and how I got there. And what more can you ask for in a work of art, really? There's a faint hint of a shack on the edge of a cliff surrounded by leafless trees. And that brings to mind some kind of atmospheric setting that I faintly remember from a dream. That's kind of the feeling I get from Madeline's work. You know, anytime that there's some shadowy darkness and mystery in the work, that definitely hooks me in right away. So congratulations to Madeline for the Best in Show. Next, that brings us to Miles Calvert for his piece, Emerging Details. It's a stone lithograph on 2 pieces of Chinese paper that have also been waxed. And so this piece was chosen for its use of layering. And I find that the interplay between the 2 layers of the translucent handmade paper keeps me looking at this piece, keeps me looking, you know, wanting to look at it. And the two layers are slightly out of register, which causes my eyes to refocus and look again. And it also makes me think of a long exposure photograph, indicating that perhaps these objects were in motion as the shutter snapped, which is counter to what we know of Ottomans, which is what he's depicting here. So normally you think of these as being pretty static objects. So just getting us to reimagine what those are. And then going from this to Carol Aquilano's work, actually it's interesting, you'll see some, what I was talking about before with colors and line, the pattern and color in Carol's work is kind of similar to what we were seeing a little bit in some of Miles's work. So this is Plant Glow, and this is a color reduction woodcut by Carol Aquilano. And like I said, I was pretty immediately drawn to this. There is something about this. It's very aptly titled Plant Glow. I mean, there's obviously we're looking at plants, but there is this glow to the work, especially when you see it in person. And it's really engaging. There's a great kind of atmospheric quality to it. You can see some modeling between the blue and that pinkish purple that's in the background. Even though there's maybe nothing back there, it kind of gives this illusion that there's more that we're seeing, and maybe there's a light that's either shining from within the plants or shining on them. But it's almost again kind of dreamlike. So those are the three pieces and why I chose them. And congratulations to all three of you. Very well deserved. And the show overall is very strong, and it really made it difficult to choose winners for sure. So. So next thing on the ticket tonight is a walkthrough of the exhibition. So we're going to show you first the main floor, and then we're going to look at the second floor where the presentation prints are. So we'll start outside the gallery and go inward. So here you see the front door. And I just love the way that this show feels very, very open, as you can see there. So from the beginning here, we've got a piece by Robert Grove next to Carol Aquilano and Madeline Kersaro, the two award winners we just looked at. And then the largest two pieces in the show by Nick Ruth. Back at the other three here. There's Nick's again. And then we've got two pieces here. We've got Terrence Clemens, we've got Claudia Meha Willett, we just passed there, Barb McPhail, followed by Kathleen Friedrich and Tom Lightfoot on the end there. And I try and do my best here to not catch myself in the glare, but you'll definitely see me sometimes. Then we've got two pieces by Heather Swenson, one on the wall and one on the pedestal. And Heather was also in our previous exhibition, Bibliospectaculum, which just came down before this one. Let's see, then we've got more work by Terrence Clemens on the right there, and in the middle, Alan Singer, and then Chris Charles on the left. And then we've got the other award winner, Miles Calvert, on the top left there, next to Pat Bacon, who's going to have a solo exhibition after the Print Club show comes down. And then we've got Richard Kegler on the bottom there. And on the left there, we've got Claudia Meha Willett again, next to Chris Charles. And the first sale of the show. Congratulations, Claudia.
Excellent.
And let's see, we will end up coming back around here. So this is just a sneak peek here. But one of the things I love about Main Street Arts and what our gallery, physically is, you can see through to the different rooms, and that's always great for curating, laying out a show. Another piece by Chris Charles. And then also another piece by Madeline Kersaro, next to a print by Daniel Rothenberg. And then over here, we've got Barb McPhail on the left and Lynn Van Artstalen on the right. And in this grouping here, we got Richard Kegler on the top left, next to Bob Grove, and then Catherine on the bottom left there, next to Lori Foster. And let's see, starting from the right, we got Thomas Logan next to Carol Aquilano, and then Tom Lightfoot on the left, next to Alan Singer. And fun fact, Alan Singer and Tom Lightfoot were both on my MFA panel at RIT, so shout out to them. Then we've got Richard Harvey next to Catherine again, and then Kathleen Friedrich on the end there. So really well-rounded show. I will say this is probably the quietest opening reception that we've had. So I hope that you're all, I hope that you're all whooping it up out there and having a good conversation at home.
Wine.
Yeah, yeah. So next we're going to be going upstairs, and I'll let Catherine talk about the presentation prints when we get there.
So first, Brad, I have to say I love the diversity of what is in the show. And that's what always impressed me about the Print Club to begin with. So these are the presentation prints. And this is something that the club has done since 1934. And each year they have commissioned a prominent printmaker to make a special edition of prints for the membership. And so as a full member, you actually received one of these prints. Any of the extras that are not given out that year are maintained in our archive and actually are for sale. And if you are a member, you actually get them at a 50% discount. But the archive itself, when I first learned about it and first learned of some of the prints that we had in there, it really is like a who's who of printmaking. I was amazed by the names that came up. People like right there, Claire Romano, who wrote the book on collograph. And we have, a Dan Weldon, who essentially is the one who came up with solar plates. We've got a Charles Hewitt right there. This is one of my favorites, which is Greg Mortensen, Carol Wax, who's really well known. And so for the small price of $85 for a full membership, you get to have one of these limited edition prints. This is our print from this year. Actually, it's one of four. This is from Linda Whitney, who does mezzotint. And she actually created 4 small editions for us. They're all very, very similar in theme. And all 4 of them are mezzotints. And so we actually kind of did a lottery system this year where you actually got to pick which of the prints that you would take home. But they're amazing prints. They're these are people who, as I say, are very well known in the printmaking industry. And, a lot of them are collected by places like Davidson Gallery, which is the premier gallery for works on paper.
Great. Well, thank you, Catherine, for telling us a little bit about the presentation prints. And it's great to see such an archive of these prints, in one place. It'd be great to show, all of them that you have, but I realized that that would be a little difficult. We'd need to do the whole show of, just the whole main floor and the whole second floor would have to all be the presentation prints. So yeah,
it would take a whole gallery to do that.
For sure.
It's an impressive list of printmakers.
Yeah. Well, I think this has been a great reception. Like I said, little quiet, but I think it gives people a taste of what they can expect to see in the show when they come. And in order to come and see the show, we do ask that you make an appointment. We're doing an appointment-only system right now, and we have appointments available on Wednesdays, Fridays, and Saturdays through the end of the exhibition, which will be on Friday, September 18th. That's the last day to see the show. So you can go to mainstreetartscs.org and book an appointment there. Also, next week, we will be posting the interactive online version of this exhibition, and you'll be able to scroll through at your own pace, similar to what you saw in the walkthrough. You'll be able to scroll up and down and walk left and right in the gallery. So you'll see the work as it's actually installed on the walls. You'll be able to click on pieces, see them larger, and then if the piece is for sale, you'll also be able to click on that and visit our online store. And all the work is currently in our online store, and you can access that on our website as well. And also be on the lookout for another live event that we'll be doing, which will be a studio tour and demo event with some of the members that are in the show. So we look forward to announcing that soon as well, and we hope that you'll join us for that. So.
Well, thank you again, Brad. We so appreciate all that you've done in this time of the COVID-19 and being able to pull this all together in a great way. And we're thrilled to have our show there. We really are. And if anyone wants to know more about the Print Club of Rochester, you can find us on printclubofrochester.org. Our entire archive is listed on there, and those are for sale as well, some of them. And thank you so much. Thank you for joining us. We really appreciate it.